If you're in the market for an all-electric vehicle, there are so many choices now in the pre-owned market. A couple of years ago, new and pre-owned EVs, they were $40,000, $50,000, but there's millions of them on the road, and they've come down in price on new, so the used ones have substantially come down on price as well. Today, we're talking about this 2022 Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, one amazing all-electric vehicle. And right now, there are plenty to be found, depending on the mileage and features. They can be found in right around the $30,000 and under price range, which is really the average price for a decent used car these days. So before when EVs were kind of a little bit more high-end premium vehicles that were exclusive, they have completely gone mainstream. The Model 3 is a fantastic vehicle. I'm a fan of the Model 3. I own one myself. I've had one for about 2.5 years, and I've bought and sold EVs in the car business for like the last 5 years. I've bought and sold hundreds of them. They are fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of Teslas. The user interface, the way they're designed, the features, it's pretty much unlike any other vehicle on the road. They're very unique. It's like a smartphone. It's like a computer on wheels, where a lot of other EVs still feel very analog. Like a lot of other EVs don't have a user interface anywhere close to the intricacy of Teslas and the over-the-air updates and stuff like that. This feels like it was designed by Apple. Just the intuitiveness of the user interface, how smart and smoothly it's designed. We're using interfaces on other cars, and it feels like they might have been designed by like Fisher-Price. You have these amazing Google Maps that come with premium connectivity. You can have illustrated maps. The premium connectivity is $10 a month, and it gives you these live Google Maps with traffic updates and allows you to stream music and stream video, which is fantastic. Tesla has an amazing supercharging network. You can use this button right there to locate them. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 superchargers within 10 miles of us. They're all over the place. This one needs to go in the charger. It's only got about 22 miles of range left. And it's always good to navigate to the supercharger because what it will do, it will precondition the battery for faster charging. You see that little snowflake or ice crystal, or whatever you want to call it, on the battery? That means that the battery is cold, so it's less efficient. So when you navigate to a supercharger, what it will do, it'll start preconditioning the battery, it'll start warming it up for faster charging, making it that much more efficient. Really amazing stuff. Tesla also has a fantastic trip planner, so you can pretty much drive anywhere in the United States. It takes all the range anxiety out of owning an EV. You just put the destination you're going to in the navigation screen, and it will figure out the whole trip for you. It'll tell you where to charge, how long to charge for, and how much range you'll have when you reach your destination. It is very complex, and Tesla's the only company that I know of that has a trip planner that is this intricate. It takes into a lot of considerations of like outside ambient temperature, wind speed, tire pressure, elevation, all things that could affect your ultimate range when arriving at your destination. So it has very, very accurate range estimates. This is a beautiful color combination of black on black. I love the clean sheet design of the Model 3 and, you know, Tesla products in general. It's like a sensory deprivation chamber in here. It's so quiet and comfortable. It's not overly cluttered with buttons and knobs. It's not chaotic. And hard buttons and knobs, they're there forever. You can't change them. This screen is infinitely reconfigurable. You have voice commands, for instance, make it warmer. Every time you say make it warmer, it will raise the temperature by 3 degrees. And you can keep on doing that until you get a comfortable temperature. And you can also be like, make it cooler. And it'll lower the temperature by 3 degrees. You can also do this. Wipers on. Wipers off. Like I said, there's like 140 different voice commands, so really, you don't need to swipe through the screen to do a lot of things. You don't even need to take your eyes off the road. You can just do voice commands and make a lot of changes. So going through the user interface, it's very straightforward. You'll get the hang of it in no time at all. You can make changes to the vehicle's behavior. You can put acceleration in chill or standard, steering weight heavy, standard light, stopping mode, creep, roll. So you can kind of make it feel like a regular vehicle. I like the hold function. Over here is the software screen. So this is a dual motor long range Model 3, has 21,662 miles. We have Autopilot, which is amazing traffic aware cruise control, which allows the vehicle to brake and accelerate and steer in its own lane. It can steer around corners. It works great on the highway. It also can work with regular roads. Just as long as there are lines in the road for it to read, it will operate. But you do need to pay attention. It's not going to stop for stop signs. It's not going to stop for red lights, but it will move the flow of traffic. You can get a lot of mileage out of it in stop and go traffic or when driving on the highway. It is fantastic. And of course, if you want to try out the full self-driving, it's $99 a month from Tesla, or you can buy it for $8,000. I use it on my car. I have the full self-driving, and it's got to the level where you don't even need to put your hands in the wheel, and it needs very little intervention. You still need to monitor things for every weird scenario. Something might happen where you need to take over, but honestly, I use it every day. I put my home destination or work destination, and I sit there with my hands on my lap, and I have about 11-mile commute. The car makes left and right hand turns. It navigates out of my neighborhood. It merges on the highway. It changes lanes on the highway. It's getting so good, and it's constantly getting updates, making it even better. We also have an arcade. You can't do this while you're driving, but maybe if you're charging or waiting for your spouses, like in the store or something like that, you can kill time by playing games. You have the toy box, which has the cool stuff like the whoopee cushion. You can have the car play a light show. You can play music through the horn. You can change the sound of the horn. You can make the horn sound like a fart or a goat. There's like a multi-track recorder. Some of the things are helpful. Some of them are kind of like silly parlor tricks. Of course, you can watch Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, things like that. You can't do it while you're driving. But like I said, while you're waiting, maybe for your spouse to shop in the store in a car, or you're supercharging, great way to kill time. Nice, spacious interior. Even though the Model 3 is a compact sedan, just the way EVs are designed, they generally have more interior space and cargo space than a comparable gas car, since you don't have the added complexity of drive shafts, gas tanks, exhaust systems. It allows for more interior space. Since there's no engine, we have a frunk, which gives you more cargo space. It's large. It's also a safety feature. You have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than a gas car, so you have all that space to absorb crash energy in a frontal collision. In fact, the Tesla Model 3 is one of the safest cars on the road. When the NHTSA first tested the Model 3, it was the lowest probability of injury out of any other vehicles on the road in an accident. So it's quick, it's fast, it's safe, it's technologically advanced. So many amazing aspects of the Model 3. So this has dual motors, making it all-wheel drive. So it has a motor in the front and a motor in the back, so it does great in wet, slippery weather. It does good in the snow, but it also makes it really fast. It's like having two engines. 0 to 60 is like under 5 seconds, and you have instantaneous thrust. It is absolutely a hoot to drive, and you'll put many purpose-built sports cars to shame in acceleration. Plus, with the weight of the battery so low, it's like a keel. It's an anchor holding the vehicle to the ground. It keeps it planted. The weight of the battery is so low in the vehicle, it has an extremely low center of gravity. Generally with gas cars, the gas tank sits higher, the engine's a lot higher up, so you don't have quite as much like the super low center of gravity that you find in an EV like this Tesla. I have these front seats adjusted for my height, and even back here I have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom. The amount of interior space for a compact sedan is uncanny, but since we don't have drive shafts, gas tanks, exhaust systems going through the floor, it allows for a more freer, open design, which gives you more interior and cargo space. And that also translates over to the trunk. The trunk is massive, but we're not done yet. We even have more space under here. Normally there'd be a gas tank and an exhaust system, but since this is an EV, we have more storage. There's another storage compartment in there. It just doesn't end. Some of the earlier Model 3s were not equipped with heat pumps, but by 2021 they started adding heat pumps to the Model 3, making them much more efficient in colder weather. The fully charged range on this Model 3 is close to 350 miles. Pretty amazing. All those people are saying, well, what are you going to do when you need to charge it? Well, how many people drive more than 300 miles a day? Your house is a gas station. You plug it in, and you have a full tank of electricity every time you get up. And then you have the amazing supercharging network to use if you do need a road trip. And unless you have a gallon bladder, I mean, most people aren't going to drive 500 miles nonstop without taking a break or something. So fast charging for 20 minutes. All the superchargers are usually by a mall or someplace to eat. They're all strategically placed. So It's really not that inconvenient as people make it out to be. Tesla also started employing more of this sound deadening glass. It's a insulated glass that has a sound deadening material sandwiched in between, making it extremely quiet. It's Tesla's acoustic glass. Well, there you have it, a beautiful example of a 2022 Model 3 in the lovely shade of black on black. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.